Usually we talk about baby registries and what to get, what to skip. Today I want to talk about things that I wish I knew before becoming a mom. So the first one, again, we talk about gear. It's that the gear does not make you a good parent. You need to instead spend time learning about parenting, not researching gear. So what kind of parent do you want to be? Talk to your spouse, especially. Okay, are we going to raise them like this? Are we going to teach them like that? What's acceptable? What's not? You got to talk parenting. You also got to talk things like co-sleeping or them sleeping in a crib. Like, what are you guys going to do? What is the plan? Actually, for raising your children. Another area to discuss would be, instead of the gear, what systems are we going to put into place? Who's dropping them off at daycare? Who's picking them up? Who packs the lunch? What are we doing and how are we doing it? And then even closer to when they're first born would be learning about breastfeeding. Yes, you need to learn about some of the breastfeeding gear and supplies, but more importantly, about the latch, okay? Learning over gear all day, every day. Focus on the essential gear and then learn and discover how you want to parent. And another reason why you don't want to buy too much gear is my second point. Phases go by quickly. At one point, baby's not going to sleep. It's going to be horrible. At one point, you're going to hit the 4-month sleep regression. It's going to be horrible. And every night is going to feel long. And every week is going to feel long. But overall, it goes by quickly. You don't need to buy 50 swaddles because before you know it, they're out of it. You don't need to buy 50 burp rags because after the first year, you're just getting rid of them. I mean, yes, you're going to have more kids potentially, but when you're done having kids, every item you bring in, you then have to take out. It's a lot. If you could have million, zillion baby items, you got to manage that in the future. And it's all going to be hand-me-downs, hopefully, and reused, but junk for you at a certain point. So phases go by quickly. You don't need to overstock for any phase. And we're going to touch on that a little bit more with clothing. Now, taking a step back from actually raising your children and the baby registry stuff. Something I wish I knew before becoming a mom was better how to cook, clean, and manage my home. When it was my husband and I, so he lived alone, I still lived at home, and then we got married and I moved in with him. So I cooked what he typically bought. I grocery shopped for what he typically ate. And sometimes that was chicken nuggets and fries. That was one of our weekly dinners. And looking back, I'm like, why? And just some of the things that were our adult meals were not adult enough meals. And even me, when we first got married, I tried to make chicken breasts. I literally forgot to season them. I wish I would have started trying to learn more and to cook better before I had a child on my hip or a fussy baby I needed to go breastfeed. It also was something in my head that I wanted to do when I had kids was I want to teach them to eat so many different types of food. I want them to like all these things. Well, guess who didn't cook all these things? Me. So it would have helped to have worked on getting a healthier diet for us as the two adults and just cooking more variety. Okay, it's pork, it's chicken, it's beef, it's salmon, it's, make tilapia. Learn how to cook things that I would be proud to feed my children. I think that would have helped a lot with introducing them to new foods, and I could have learned how to cook those meals without the distractions of children. You can continue to keep learning. You 100% can, but would it have been easier before? Yes. I wish I would have learned a little bit more on cleaning and a little bit more on home management. I think I do okay in that area, but I wish I maybe would have learned a little bit more before having children. One thing that might have helped this was if I moved out before getting married, and I did not do that. So that might be unique to me, but I would question, what are you making for dinner? Are you having girl dinners every night? What do you want to serve your children? Because if you don't want them to eat hot dogs and mac and cheese, you need to start working on meals and increasing what you're capable of cooking and cooking ideally well. Now, if this kind of content is interesting to you, I have another channel. It's called Mom, Wife, and Everyday Life. And so this channel is focused more on baby and baby registries. This next channel is focused a little bit more on motherhood beyond that first year. So if you're interested in a little more of cooking, cleaning, organizing, and running a home, go check out that other channel. It'll be linked down in the description. Now, I mentioned earlier that everything's a phase and they grow up quickly. So one thing would be clothing. You don't need an abundance of clothing in any single size because they grow up quickly and they move through it. Now, with the home organization clothing, I think it's nice to have fewer items and to just keep up on them. So for example, laundry. Have fewer burp cloths, but just when a burp cloth gets milky, just throw it straight in the washer and have it ready to go in the next load. I am a hamper mama. I so believe in hampers. I have a whole laundry system. Again, that's on my other channel, Mom, Wife, and Everyday Life. I'll link it down in the description. But I'm a hamper mama. When I do my laundry, it's only my laundry. It makes getting laundry done so much faster. But with babies, I'm not super big on the hamper. I just want their clothes washed ASAP because of stains setting in, the milky smell, like honestly, swaddles, sheets, burp cloths, clothing in general. I pretty much would put it in the washer with my clothes or my husband's, even with towels. I didn't care. I just wanted their stuff washed ASAP and put back in their room. Have less things, wash them quickly, manage them. The phase is going to be over quickly. All right, same like I said, burp cloths. You don't need them for that long. You don't need 100. You don't need 50. You need like 10. Okay, yes, you can go through a lot in a day, but like, do you do a load of laundry every day or every other day? Plan for that mentally. Okay, don't plan for a month's worth of burp cloths. That's silly. Another huge lesson that I would tell myself before becoming a mom is what works for someone may not work for you. And I focus on this a lot with my Baby Registry channel here because your best friend might say, I love the Ha Cup. I swear by it. I used it every single day. And then you put it on your Baby Registry. You don't know what it is. You don't even know if you're going to use it or when you're going to use it. And guess what? Then maybe you just simply don't use it because you went back to work after 3 weeks. I'm not saying that would actually happen. Hopefully it wouldn't. And you're pumping full time. So you never use the Ha Cup. You got to do what works for you in your lifestyle and your situation. Sometimes that's determined by baby's preferences. Sometimes that's determined by your work situation. Sometimes that's determined by your parenting style. But you can't just get an item because it worked for somebody else. This will work with gear, parenting styles, parenting philosophies, rules you have in your home, and what makes sense for you. You and your spouse need to talk these things through and figure out what items are coming into your home based on how you want to raise your children. Not the must-haves of all the influencers. Don't get it just because they got it. You have an individual life and you need to cater to it. And that is why I offer Baby Registry reviews where we talk about your life specifically and go over products that make sense for you, not just a general list that everybody needs. Now, this one is a big one, okay? Before I became a mom, I wish I knew a little bit more about myself. I wish I learned a little more, figured a little more out. I did things before I had kids that I'm proud of and I'm glad I did. Like I took dance lessons at one point. And I wish I would have maybe found a little bit more of myself, kind of like on the cooking category. I wish I would have developed a little bit more skills. And for some moms, this is more important than others, okay? Some moms will lose their hobbies when they have kids and they won't make time for them or find time for them. I'm happy to spend a lot of time with my kids, but would it maybe be better for me to have a once a week thing I go do? It could be a Bible study. It could be a pickleball league that plays every Tuesday. I don't care what it is. But would it probably be good for me to have that getaway moment? Yes, but there's mom guilt. There's not wanting to be selfish. Everybody parents different. Everybody has different personalities on this. Some moms are involved in a million clubs, and that's great. I think it's wise to consider your hobbies before children. Almost like write them down. I know that sounds crazy, but write them down. Find a way to keep them if they're important to you. Now, you might have to give them up the first month, okay? You're recovering from birth and all that. But then how do we integrate this in? Say you played pickleball before. How do you talk to your spouse and say, okay, I know I'm breastfeeding, but this pickleball league is only 10 minutes away. It's only an hour a night on Tuesdays. I can feed baby right before, go play pickleball, and I'll make it right back. Maybe that's possible. Or maybe they take baby and they go watch you play pickleball and you are able to nurse right afterwards. You know, like find a way. Find a way to keep a part of you after you've had baby. This also could be things you want to work on yourself before baby comes. Like one thing I wish I would have maybe worked on is having less of a phone addiction because I'm not proud of the time that I'm on my phone in front of my kids. It's not teaching them like good things. When they're teenagers, if they're on their phone all the time, I'm going to be like, guys, get off your phone. Where did they learn it? You got to take some accountability. And maybe I wish I would have worked on myself a little bit more before having babies. So this is what I wish I knew or wish I did or implemented or learned before becoming a mom. Now, I do want to leave you with this one thought. Anything on this list you can continue to work on after baby. Okay, having baby does not mean your life is over. It's too late. All the ships have sailed. No, I continue to grow in my cooking journey. All right, on my Mom, Wife, and Everyday Life channel, I've got videos of me making things like garlic knots, banana bread, things homemade that I found a recipe online, and I want to show you how easy it is and how possible it is. All right, I continue to grow and learn as a mom, and I hope you do as well. But if you can get a little bit of a head start and learn some of this before becoming a mom, I think that is super helpful. That's what I'm going to share with you today. So check out more videos on this channel. I offer those Baby Registry reviews if you're in that phase and you want help with it. And if you just want more mom advice, I've got a lot of videos over on my other channel. So go check it out. I'll see you over there. Thanks so much and have a great day.